Movies now are a worldwide thing. Movies made in America are released all over the world. Now, baseball movies, the fact that the subject matter is baseball, does that cut down on the potential in overseas markets?
Not as badly if it had been about curling, but it's still going to be somewhat limited where they don't play baseball. They won't have any idea what we're talking about. Probably the best idea in those markets would be to re-loop the announcer that's on the soundtrack saying things like, "As you know, there are 3 strikes and an out," to help those guys. Actually, they won't even know what an out is, but it's primarily a love story and the story of a man's life coming to its end and his reflections back on that life. So I think the fact that they may not get the game is probably okay.
Everyone's commenting how great Vin Scully is in this.
Really?
Yeah. Was there much discussion on whether they should just get an actor to do the play-by-play?
No, I felt that it had to be Vin Scully from the go-get, and I was adamant about it because I love him so much. I love listening to Dodger games. I have a baby I put to sleep at night, and I go outside in the garden, and I turn on that radio, and it reminds me of when I was a boy with my grandfather. And I just can listen for hours. The baby's fast asleep. I don't tell my wife, otherwise I got to do other jobs. But I hang out there and listen to the Dodgers for hours with Vin Scully.
Now, how much prompting did he need? Did you just give him a basic outline, or I can't imagine every word was scripted that he read.
Absolutely not. We gave him a script, and I said to him, Vin, you don't have to say the script. Put it in your own words, because what I love is how he can extemporaneously come up with these beautiful pieces of poetry. And I read a transcript once of him calling the perfect game. It wasn't Don Larson, although he did call that one. God, I don't know whose game it was. Could it have been Drysdale? Actually, I don't know who it was. I'm caught up short, but transcript of him narrating a perfect game, and it was so moving, it was unbelievable. Maybe it was Sandy Koufax in the 60s. He was a Dodger. I think that's probably who it was. But once I read that, I thought, our script is not of this caliber, as fine as the script is. Vin, put it in your own words. And he did, in each and every case. And he was funny and charming and real, most importantly.
Now, the negotiations to use Yankee Stadium, what kind of, I wouldn't say bizarre, but what kind of unique restrictions did you have to overcome?
No human sacrifices. No, I'm joking, of course. It was, I have no idea what happened. The producers worked with Mr. Steinbrenner and the Yankee organization, and somehow they made that happen.
Now, working with the extras on this film, New York, Yankee Stadium crowds are pretty famous for berating opposing teams. Now, what happens when Kevin Costner is supposed to throw a strike and he throws something wide and outside, or outside, high and outside? The audience is going, the extras going, "Costner, you suck!"
Actually, he was throwing so well that they were really impressed with him. This is a crowd that usually shows up at the stadium, and they saw Kevin where they used to seeing David Wells or David Cohn. And I think we had just the opposite reaction. I think they were thinking, man, that could be a professional pitcher here. And he happens to be Kevin Costner. So I think they were very impressed from the go-get. And Kevin spent a lot of time with the extras. He would toss them balls continually and hit balls up into the stands, and they would be screaming for that, and they loved that. And he spent a lot of time, hours, signing autographs for the people. And I kept thinking, I know his arm is hurting. I know he has that in his sleep. He should be going home right now, but he's trying to give back to them something that they gave to the picture. So he's a very generous man, Kevin Costner. And I think that those fans really, really struck up a great relationship with him.